Good morning. Esteemed Chief Guest, Mr. Chatterjee, Director of Arts Foundation, Mr. Nishan Shah, distinguished panelists, speakers, and august audience, and of course, Sonki Shah. First of all, I am very pleased to be here, especially on invitation of Nishan Bhai and Sonki Ben, and giving me an opportunity to be with the king of CSR, and in presence of all of you. Of course, all of you are experts in CSR. I am not an expert in CSR. I just do whatever I am supposed to do or what I am asked to do. So I will not speak too much about systems or processes or impact assessment or best practices or all those things, because all of you are more qualified to understand and speak about that. But I would like to emphasize on certain things based on my personal experience, and that is the human aspect of CSR. So what I mean by human aspect? I mean by human aspect the values, the care, the concern, the feeling of empathy, all this when we initiate or when we decide about starting a CSR program. Now, when I say empathy, I'm sure all of you know empathy is not sympathy. Empathy is much more than sympathy. It's all about feeling what others are feeling. It's about understanding what others are, the condition of others, and being one with them, trying to feel their situation by yourself. Now, how empathy can transform into a mega, whether you call it social development program or a CSR program, I will give some examples from my own experience. See, we all talk about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. What is that? It is nothing but I am you, you are me, I feel what you feel, and you feel what I feel. So, any CSR program, any social initiative that is factored around this concept, I don't see any issue in creating significant and lasting impact. So I'll give you one example. In 1995, on the suggestion of a government, very senior government official, we went to Chota Udaipur district, which is near Vadodara, about 100 kilometers from here. It's a complete tribal area. In those days, it was not possible to enter a village because outsiders were not welcome. The tribals would not allow you to enter the villages. So after a lot of effort, we could find some local leaders who took us to some villages. So one village that we went, we saw a child with a severe head injury in a very bad condition with significant bacterial formation. Another child that we saw was with almost 30-40% burns. When we asked parents, what are you going to do about this? Their answer was nothing to worry. We have those voodoo artists in the town, in the village, and they will take care of our children. So the first feeling that few of us who were there felt was intense empathy, nothing else. And from that intense feeling of empathy, I'll just give you the details. Over these 30 years, what has happened? What transformation has happened? 210 villages of Pavil, that was the first phase of the project that we undertook. 144 villages of Chota-Udeipur, 52 villages of Dediapada, 6 villages each of Naswadi and Kamat, all over 30 years, last 30 years. The work continues, but the transformation that has happened in this area in terms of health, hygiene, agriculture, water conservation, income generation, skill development, you name it, all what we call integrated development, everything has happened here. And the most important part is that the work continues even today, but of course, almost 80% of these villages are now self-sufficient and self-generating. And Nishan Bhai just spoke about CSR programs that are long-term and sustainable. So, what is a sustainable CSR program? When the participants of the CSR program become self-sufficient, self-generating, and they don't need any NGO or any corporate to support them, that is the true parameter of success of CSR program. We are out of almost 70%, 80% of these villages, and they are just doing everything by themselves. So, the moment we keep all those things which are systems, processes, nowadays artificial intelligence, everything on one side, and we keep human element on the other side, it probably is the most important aspect in my view. Now coming to another aspect of, another human aspect is about infinite human capabilities. The Indian ethos speak about infinite human potential, and it also speaks about realizing it. Now when we started working with this tribal, we realized that given the opportunity, given the required support and training, given the right circumstances, they can go far beyond many of us urban people, urban youth, in terms of the skills or in terms of achievement. So we said, what can be done? So the first program that we undertook, I think it was around 2007 or 8, was probably the first call center training set up in Chota-Udeipur. Training tribal youth, young girls and boys, those who had not even gone out of their villages most of the times, except for some education. And when we started training them, they came out so well that all the telecom companies, whether it is Airtel, in those days Aditya Birla, which is now Vodafone, all those companies came forward and they said that we want to hire as many students as you bring out of this initiative. And now many of them are actually working there in urban centers, doing very well for themselves. Same way, we also thought, can we do this on a larger scale, but in all the skills? So we decided to set up a training center near Halol, together with government of Gujarat. Government of Gujarat supported us quite well. And that center has so far trained 13,000 tribal youth, young boys and girls. And we have trained girls in world-class welding even, besides tailoring and whatever traditional skills that most of us impart to this tribal youth. we decided to go beyond that and we talked to industries, what would you need? So industries like Thermix, for example, came forward and said that we need welders. And if you can, extremely good welders, world-class welders. And if you can train girls, we would be really obliged. So we took up that challenge. We trained girls. Today, so many girls are working on shop floor doing welding from this tribal community. So the most important point is that first you understand, you relate to them. Second, you believe in their infinite potential, and just be a catalyst. The moment we get the feeling that we are savior of the participants, our CSR program is in serious trouble. The role that we play is of catalyst. We just ignite that passion. And when passion is ignited, we just support them with what is required. And then let their innate abilities and their passions work to bring out the changes that we are looking for. I'll give you another example. See, many of, because there are many representatives from companies here, CSR, who would have experienced demands coming from government officers, government departments, that you please do this CSR, you please do that CSR, with very good intentions, because they have the data of what a particular area requires. But many a times we need to really question what is really needed. So we have a recent example about I think 1.5-2 years back, and some of you would have probably got the same demand. We were asked to set up 10 smart classrooms at a cost of one classroom at a cost of about 6 to 7 lakhs rupees. 10 smart classrooms in government schools. We said we have no problem. I mean, it's about 60-70 lakhs rupees. But do you really need smart classrooms, or you really need smart teachers and smart students? Smart classroom will be used effectively if you have, first of all, smart teachers, and then those teachers who can make students smart. So a lot of back and forth happened. Finally, we decided to support with 3 smart classrooms. But on the other hand, we are running a very significant education program. We went to about 11 schools as a first model and tested the skills or tested the education level of the children. And we found out that a 7th standard student or 8th standard student in a public school is actually equal to about 3rd or 4th standard student in a regular school. So we decided to, as I said, make this student smart. And we started running special teaching classes. And what we did, we hired smart teachers. And that led to, again, a significant change, significant transformation in the area where we are working over almost, I think now, 7, 8 years. And the high school of the area is most of the times number 1 in results, 10 standard results in the entire taluka. So again, believing in the capacity or infinite human potential with not very significant amount of resources, we can do a huge transformation. So these are some of the examples that I wanted to give, and I'm a firm believer in meditation, which is another way of bringing out our human potential, and we utilize this at workplace. Not only that, we also in some of our CSR programs we incorporate spirituality as part of and spirituality, not, let me be very clear, it's not religion, just spirituality, again bringing out what is inside you. we do that. And I would urge all of you to reflect on the human aspect within your CSR programs. Make it a central or pivotal part of the process. I am sure you will see a very big change in the way you feel at the first level, and the way you create an impact. Thank you.